Why is it important to build a brand that has a personality? Should you reduce your market size for the sake of your brand? Are you clear on the core message of your brand, and why should anybody care? Today's episode, we're going to unpack this, and we're going to talk about how to build a brand and how you can become more profitable. So without any further delay, let's jump right in and get started. Welcome to another episode of the eCreate Biz podcast. I am your host, Caleb Becker, talking about what it's really like to navigate through the challenges of running an online business, how to get your work to serve you and your family without burnout, how to gain the freedom of a well-structured business and develop the daily habits that create this success. I know we're familiar with brands. We see them all the time, and it's one of those things that I think, well, maybe I understand it completely, but then I get questioned on some things, and then I have to wonder, like, do I really understand brand? So that's why I want to talk about this today. And if you're struggling in your business to become profitable, if you are having a struggle with getting your message out there, if you're having a struggle with trying to actually reach your ideal customer, well, the secret lies inside of the brand. Why is brand building important? Well, building a brand gives your business a personality, and that's a big deal. That personality is a big deal. That's what separates you from all these other businesses, is that personality. It gives people something to relate to as they interact with your business. They can relate to it, and they can put things together about why they even care and why they are even interested in your business. So it gives people something to follow. And you think about it, like when you have business A over here and business B, and you might be selling or offering the similar products, but when you have a brand that has a personality, it gives people something to follow and it makes sense to them. But most importantly, what I find out is when we start thinking about brand towards outside and other people, it's really important for you to understand what your business stands for. So it's most important for you to know the direction of what your business is actually serving, the mission that it seeks to serve. But everything set aside, the most important thing for a business owner to understand brand building is for themselves, so that they know how to think about their business, so that they know how to make decisions, so that they can move things forward, so that they know that they are reaching the people that it matters. So brand building is extremely important for you, for yourself. So that's the secret here, and how to think when you show up every day. Now, the other important aspect of this is that you have all these people out here that you could potentially serve, but when you have a brand and you know where you're established, it helps you to take all of that, this group of people over here, and you can narrow it down, okay? That's extremely important, to be able to narrow that down and to narrow it down further and closer, so that you can, in a sense, become very intimate in understanding what your market really is. Because we can't sell to everybody. Selling to everybody, it doesn't work. We would like to sell to each and everybody, and we take our products, we times it by how many we could sell it for, and then boom, we think we have a business. No, that doesn't work. We can't sell to everybody. And when you have that narrow audience and you've been able to identify them, you've been able to group them together, well, that narrow audience will realize, well, here's a business that I like. I like this business. I like what they say. I like how they have their products. I just like them, and so they're going to want to follow you. So I like to do a little bit of a mental exercise when we're thinking about narrowing down our audience. So I think you're familiar with Walmart. Everybody is, who's not, right? But going into Walmart, look at all the different people that are there that are going in and out of Walmart. And out of all those people that are there, just think about how you're walking in the store and how the lifestyle of these people are just totally different from yours, majority of the people. So when you're in Walmart, you're buying the same products that everybody else is buying, but you view those products differently. What you think and how you value life, how you view life is different to the other person that buys the same product as you. So for example, of that, when you go to Walmart, you're not going to every part of the store, you know. You're going to a certain part of the store and you're only hitting a certain part, and you wouldn't be found in other parts of the store because it has nothing to do with you. Or maybe the stage of life that you're in, it has nothing to do with you. So when you can visualize yourself going into the store and you can separate and pull yourself out of yourself. Okay, now this sounds a little strange, but I really mean this. Like, you walk into that store, and as you're walking into the store, you get out of yourself, okay? And you view yourself going into the store and how you're dressed, what's going on with you, what's going on with your life, and where you go in that store. And you're just like watching yourself, and you're outside of yourself and you're just watching yourself where you go. Well, when you are all of a sudden in a place in the store where you would find people like yourself, then you relate to that. You get that. You know why they're there. It makes sense why they're buying a product like what you're buying, or even what they're going to be doing with that product. So it makes sense. And when you have that connection, you feel like following that person wherever they're going to go. You want them to give you permission or invite you to follow them, and you would be willing to do that because you get them. So that's just part of narrowing down your audience, being that intimate with them, knowing what they're going through, what stage of life they're in, and what they care about. This is why it's important to build a personal brand. But the profits come from somewhere else, and let me explain. I just wanted to pause here for a second to thank you for subscribing to this channel, and I really appreciate your comments. So let's jump back in where we left off. So when we talk about brand building and getting a personal brand and why it's important, how and where do profits come from? Well, that's where core messaging comes in, the core message of your brand. This is a very good exercise to go over, to just think for yourself, what is your message? What is it that you say that other people get? And to put this in context, your message needs to be so clear and so well thought of and so aligned up with your ideal customer, your ideal audience, that when you say a phrase or a statement, they'll totally get it. It'll make sense to them because they think that way. You know, a brand like Jeep had an amazing slogan, and maybe they still do. I haven't paid attention to Jeep for a while, but their slogan was, "It's a Jeep thing." And Jeep owners got it. It made sense to them. They loved it, right? It's a Jeep thing, and that was their statement. When your core message has that foundation to it, then you are able to say things that your audience gets. They're going to feel comfortable knowing that you say the things that you do, that you talk about the things that you do, that you share stories in a way that they can relate to. They're going to feel comfortable in that, and they're going to want to pay attention to what you're saying because your people, your audience, will understand you. And when they understand you and they're following you, then that gives you the opportunity, and this is where the money comes in, gives you the opportunity to solve their problems by selling them a solution. Do you get it? Does it make sense? You solve their problems by selling them a solution. And that's where the money comes in. And it's well deserved. You're not being salesy at this point. You're not demanding that they pay you. You've built this brand to where they wanted to follow you, where it makes sense to them, to where they feel comfortable, and now you can give them a solution to a problem, and all that's going to separate them from that solution is them purchasing this product or purchasing this service. It's a win-win. It's a win-win for you. It's a win-win for them. So I challenge you to think about your brand. Think about where you are, what mission that you have. Think about why it's important for you to build a personal brand that's got a personality, why it's important for you to narrow down your niche, and why you drill into your core message and what that core message is. Because you'll be able to take this brand and be able to serve others. Because again, like I said, it's the mission. You're seeking to serve, and this is the mission that you are, and this is why people should pay attention to you. So anyways, I wish you all the best in your journey as you go through these phases. There's never been a time in life where it's more important right now, the day and age that we're living in, to make sure that our brand is built with a personality. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.
So I got a question for you. How is it going inside of your business? What is the outlook for the next 6 months? Can you see light at the end of the tunnel? Or are you coming up against roadblock after roadblock after roadblock that seems like there's no end in sight? Well, I've got good news for you. Today, you're tuning in, you're listening in, and I appreciate you so much. And I know what it's like to be in your shoes because I am in your shoes. I am doing the same thing you're doing. Creating a business is not easy. And I'm right there with you, and I have this guide that I know will help you out. It's called the Fast Profitable Online Business Guide. It's straightforward, it's simple, and it covers the 3 building blocks of an online business. What should you be focusing on? What's going to make the biggest difference? How to position yourself? What kind of strategies should you be using? And it also has some of the most common mistakes that business owners make and how you can avoid them. Now, like I said, you've tuned in, you're listening in, I appreciate you so much, and I want you to grab that guide for free today. All you got to do is go down below this episode, there's a link, or you can go ahead and just go to ecreatebiz.com/guide. That's GUIDE, and you just simply grab your guide there. That's ecreatebiz.com/guide, GUIDE, or just click the link below this episode. You've got nothing to lose. It's there for you. Again, I appreciate you so much for tuning in and listening today.